Hi, my name is Christina. I'm with Prevost Law Firm, and I'm here with our client, Daniel. We just finished Daniel's case, and he was gracious enough to agree to spend a few moments with me today to talk about his situation, which we really appreciate. Daniel, thank you for sharing with others your solar experience.
Thank you.
First, just give everyone a little background, who your installer is, and what was the nightmare that this whole situation put you in?
Well, our installer was Encore Solar. Um, when we were first approached, we were excited about having solar power, about being able to reduce the amount of payments, going to the electrical companies, and that proved not to be the case with our experience. Um, I think we experienced just a couple of months where we weren't getting an electrical bill, but then we began receiving electrical bills that were comparable to what we had before the solar system. And then when we found out, that the company had actually gone out of business and that any warranty we had was basically null and void, and other items that they had promised were not able to be fulfilled, like removal of the solar panels in the event our roof needs to be replaced and things like that. We did feel like, what are we going to do at this point? Who do we go to? What are our resources? What can we do about this situation?
Right. How did it feel being stuck in that situation?
It felt, obviously very unnerving. You you had a belief that you were going with, doing something positive with going to, a solar system, and it's going to be beneficial for yourself and for your pocketbook along with the environment. And then it just ends up nothing about the system made sense at that point. You weren't saving money on on your electrical bills. You weren't, you know now you're possibly dealing with negative impacts to your house. And obviously, for a vast majority of us, our houses are the biggest investment of our life. So at that point, you're like, well, did I really, what kind of choice was this? Did I make the right choice? At that point, you just feel very alone. You don't know who's out there to help. um, you can't really go after the company itself because they've gone out of business.
Sure. How important was it to you, the representation that the salesperson made to you on the production that you were going to be getting for electricity as well as the electric savings? Would you have taken on this without those promises being honored?
Absolutely not. Like when we were first approached by them, I have had neighbors that had got solar systems, and they were talking about, they had the system, but they were paying the bills for the solar panels along with the electrical bill, and that quite honestly didn't make sense to me. I don't see, you know, paying double the amount to get the same product. So when we were first approached by Encore, I made it very clear. I don't want to have a solar bill along with an electrical bill. We were very upfront about our electrical usage. We gave them, you know, all the all of our electrical usage for over a year. We had told them that we were in the process of having a pool installed, and that would increase the amount of electrical uses for our system or for our house. And they assured us time and time again, no, we will create a system that will produce more than enough electricity for your usage.
Sure. Did they tell you about other additional fees that you may have to incur, like fees charged by the electric company or anything else?
No,
Connection fees?
they very much made it seem like, you know, every bit of surplus that our system produced would just basically be cash in our pockets.
Mm-hmm. Sure. All right. Well, I'm so sorry. I know that it was very disappointing to you. And what did that do to your family financially?
Obviously put a strain. You know, any additional money that you're having to spend, especially when it's not bringing something new to your life, just it very much makes you question most of your decisions during that period of time. Is like, if I'm having to spend extra money to get the same product, what it what's the purpose of it?
Sure, that makes so much sense. What made you decide to hire Prevost Law Firm?
I had actually just discovered it on social media. Saw an advertising for, or actually one of my local neighbors. I just saw a listing that they had with it. I read through it, read some of the articles about the law firm, saw some of the videos about past clients. I was like, you know what? Let me just reach out to them, see, what can possibly be done. And again, that empty, hollow, you know, alone feeling I had was able to be subsided when, I reached out to Prevost and, heard back, and we started communicating with each other. I felt like, again, there was someone in my corner that was trying to look out for my best interest and my family's best interest.
Absolutely. We sued your lender, and your settlement agreement doesn't allow us to talk about the details of who your lender is. But tell me, how happy are you with the results that we were able to get for you?
Um, Exceptionally happy. I A little story about the process was, I was told during any arbitration, there are, neither side's a winner. It's just a mutual uh, dissatisfaction with the process. And, at the end of it, obviously with a settlement, that benefited me more so than what I would have had without the arbitration. So, I definitely felt like a winner at the end of it.
Sure. Do you feel dissatisfied, if anything, or are you very satisfied
I'm
with
I'm very satisfied because now I don't feel like we have wasted the time and money invested in this system. We're back on the right side of the financial level.
I love to hear that. And we agree with you. How are you feeling now that it's all finally over?
Feels phenomenal. The settlement is, definitely going to help out a lot. It's taken a lot of stress off my shoulders and my wife and my family. It's given us something less to worry about.
Beautiful. A common question that we get often is, how long does the process take? And you hired us back in September of 24, and
Right.
it's now 25. We just finished wrapping up your case. Took a little over 12 months. And do you think it was worth the wait?
Absolutely. Y'all were very upfront with, time frames. You said, okay, well, this period, or during discovery, we're going to take about this long. And of course, anytime you're waiting for something, it feels longer. But when you look back at it, you're like, well, you know what? It didn't take as long as they said, or it took, right about the same amount of time as was what was told to me at the beginning. But looking back at it, it felt a lot longer than what it actually was. But, again, that's what you're dealing with when you go into these types of situations.
Yes. Last question, Daniel. What would you say to someone who's thinking about hiring Prevost Law Firm to help with their solar panel situation?
It never hurts to talk to them. It never hurts to talk to anybody. They're very, very upfront about the process, about time frames, like I said, about the cost. It's very, a very specific amount of upfront cost. And again, that was one of the questions I asked. I was like, so worst case scenario, if at the end of this, nothing works out on my end, this is how much I would end up spending on the process. And they said, yes, that's it. So again, I would reach out, look at all the testimonials, read the articles. Um, you you won't you sorry, I lost my train of thought. You won't be disappointed when reaching out and talking about what the process is and how it goes. And if you end up going with Prevost, I'm certain you won't be disappointed about the outcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Daniel. You have been so gracious and so amazing. The experience that you shared today is going to be invaluable to many people who are needing relief and are considering our firm to represent them as well. I'm really excited with the results we got you, and I hope that you have a very wonderful day.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.